Alrighty, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Muzzle Broke channel. We appreciate you tuning in today. And today we're going to go through and step by step show you how I'm going to goon tape this pistol here. So this right here is a custom Glock 17 Gen 3. I have some sort of aftermarket slide with an RMR cut, and I'm running that on the SCT Glock frame. So there are a lot of things I like about this frame, and there are a lot of things I don't like about this frame. And if you're curious about this $100 completed Glock frame specifically, I do have another video dedicated to the SCT frame already on the channel, so check that out. But my biggest issue with this frame specifically is it just feels kind of thin. So what I figured I'd do is go ahead and grab some of the goon tape that I had laying around and just give this a couple wraps over and maybe thicken this up just enough so it fits my hand a little bit better. So obviously we have a cleared weapon system. We're going to go ahead and break this off. And we're just going to wrap this section of the frame to kind of bulken it up just a hair. Now, I actually am rocking the name brand goon tape. I do have this in black and this green color as well. But you could also very easily use some hockey tape or something like that. But we're going to give this goon tape a try. I do really enjoy these kind of goon tape projects because it doesn't permanently modify the weapon or the frame. And I was kind of just going to spray paint this, and I still might do that moving forward, but I figured I'd try and do something a little bit reversible first so I'm not married to the spray paint. And we can kind of be as sloppy or as neat with this as we'd like. I'm just going to start by doing one layer through, feel it, see how it feels in my hand, and then kind of determine if I want to add another layer. So I'm a little neurotic. I like to be pretty neat with my tape jobs. So I'm going to try and do my best to do that here today. But hey, man, obviously your gun, you do what you want. I do like to kind of put this on as tight as I can because I hate those like lines that you can get if you're loose with your tape, because those kind of do bubble up and are kind of like super annoying. Now, I kind of do recommend you almost like press this down as you go, because it can kind of come unstuck and cause some problems for us if you're not paying attention. Just like that. Just kind of working our way up the frame here. We're going to get to our kind of stopping point. Like I said, I'm only going to do about one layer of this right now. So go ahead and cut that there. And just press this down, tighten it up a little bit. Okay. So once we kind of have that first layer, for handguns specifically, I do really recommend kind of checking it in a sense where press it down, make sure it's sticking on there appropriately, and just kind of give it a feel. Now, this tape is not incredibly thick, but when you're wrapping it, it does absolutely add some thickness. Obviously, one layer around isn't going to add too much thickness, but if you really go overboard and tape the shit out of something like I did to this bayonet, it does actually add quite a bit of thickness around where you're taping. I'm going to go ahead and put the slide back on here just so I can get like a couple dry fires in. It doesn't really feel too bad for me right there. But I think I might just add one more layer to this and just get a little bit more thickness. So just going to kind of repeat those same steps here. I'm just trying to get the same amount of tape kind of everywhere that I can. Just want to make sure I'm not getting like one section super thick and keeping the other section as a one layer side, just because it'll kind of give you a weird feeling if you do that. Just kind of going around and making sure we're kind of pressing down as we go. So that's pretty good for me right there. We got another layer on. We'll go ahead and cut this, tack that free edge down there. Make sure we're pushing everything in. Kind of does help to pack this down as tight as you can, especially that free edge there. Make sure that's smoothed down just so we don't catch that and undo our tape job here. Gonna slide that slide back on. Okay, that does feel quite a bit better for me. I'm pretty happy with that 2 layers of tape there. Obviously, if you have bigger hands and you want to thicken this up a little bit more, you can add a 3rd or a 4th layer, just kind of whatever you want to do. For me, that 2 layers is kind of always seeming to be the sweet spot, to be completely honest with you. 1 layer just doesn't really quite do enough. And 2 gives you that just kind of little bit of extra thickness that kind of helps me get a little bit better purchase on either a grip or a frame or something like that. If you really want to get super fancy with your tape job, you can run like an alcohol wipe over what you're taping just to kind of get any of that grime and goop off. And then you could also take a hair dryer to it after you're done taping. I am not a doctor's office, so I don't have any alcohol wipes, and I don't have a girlfriend, so I don't have a hair dryer laying around. So this is as good as it's going to get for me, just making sure I'm pressing all of these edges down. And that is just about all there is to it. There's not any sort of right or wrong way to use this Goon tape or hockey tape. I was just doing this today. Figured I'd show y'all how to do it, make a little video on it. So I hope you enjoyed watching this. If you did, I'd really appreciate a subscribe to the channel. Alrighty guys, y'all take care.